Forests tend to be naturally spooky places. They are dense with trees letting in little light and offering plenty of spots for predatory animals to hide while stalking their prey. Prey that sometimes include humans. But life also thrives there. For the Slavic people, there's one spirit that rules it all, a lord of the woods, the Leshy. The Leshy is a shape-shifting creature that may appear human but also takes on the form of the animals and plants he protects. He was once believed to lead travelers to their deaths, but could also ensure a successful hunt. He kidnapped young women, but kept cattle from getting lost in the woods. He was feared, but also revered. The Leshy isn't just some high-level boss in a video game, but an important, mischievous, powerful spirit that can trace its history back to ancient religious and cultural beliefs. One 19th century text, the Leshy is directly connected to the dangers of the forest. It reads, "In olden days, when forests were larger and denser than they are now, the Leshy used to be constantly deluding travelers and making them lose their way." And no forest was safe. While Slavic folklore claimed each forest had its own Leshy, there could be more than one. Territorial disputes between Leshy were said to be the cause of harsh storms, boulders falling, or crashing trees, supernatural explanations for real events. Most often, a Leshy appears in its imposingly tall human guise, with long claws and shaggy hair, sometimes with horns and cloven feet. He can grow higher than the treetops or small enough to hide behind a blade of grass. The Leshy's appearance is often inspired by the vegetation of the forest, with bark-like skin and a green beard or hair, which makes sense given that his name comes from the Russian word meaning forest. Leshy translates to wood spirit or wood demon. A Leshy may take on a human form and even disguise itself as someone its victim knows, but it can inadvertently reveal its true nature through small mistakes in their transformation. And since he can take the shape of anything in his domain, a Leshy may appear as anything from bears and wolves to domestic cattle, birds, a tree, even a whirlwind of leaves. A Leshy can also alter its voice. He might call out to his victims in a voice they recognize, or whistle like the wind blowing through the trees. Animal sounds, the rustle of leaves, and laughter are also part of his verbal repertoire, which he would then use to confuse and tempt victims. He was feared because he possessed the ability to lead people and animals astray, forcing them to die from exhaustion trying to find their way home, or misleading them to fall into a ravine or swamp. Leshy were said to be great gamblers, playing cards against one another and other spirit demons, frequently betting the resources of their particular woods. As the master and guardian of the forest, a huntsman's success or woodcutter's bounty was believed to be dependent on the will of the Leshy. Even herdsmen relied on this creature. Because of this relationship, the herdsmen were seen as intermediaries between the human world and the world of the Leshy, the spirit world. You could avoid offending the Leshy by respecting the forest, not only in terms of taking resources, but in general modes of deference, like not whistling or swearing, and not intentionally harming plants. Other protections against the Leshy included making the sign of the cross, saying a prayer or spell, wearing clothes backwards or inside out, retracing your steps out of the forest, or making the Leshy laugh. So although Slavic folklore describes them as antagonistic towards humans by nature, you can win one over with a little respect. They can actually seem pretty reasonable in a lot of ways. Neither good nor evil, this forest-dwelling shapeshifter was scary because it could be lurking around every corner. The Leshy represents a deep respect for the forest and acknowledges the dangers humans encountered there, especially when it was largely untamed. It was something that could only be avoided with caution, awareness, and a sincere appreciation of your surroundings. The moral of the story? Be nice to nature. You never know when a giant forest spirit will come for you.